Hey everyone, today I'm very excited because I'm going to be unboxing and give you guys my first impression of Audeze's new budget studio headphones, the MM-100. So let's get right into it. Okay, so here we go. Okay, and before I even pull these out of the box, I want to tell you a little bit more about them. Now, I went to Can Jam last year and I listened to the Audeze MM-500s, and those headphones were a little bit different than Audeze's other headphones like these LCD2 Classics. They were designed in collaboration with the Grammy Award-winning engineer, producer, Manny Marroquin. I hope I didn't butcher your name. After listening to those at that show, I was like, wow, these MM-500s are probably like the best Audeze headphones on this table, and there was quite a few high-end Audeze headphones there. Now the MM-500s cost quite a bit, and they're just a little bit out of my reach for me to buy them. So when I saw that Audeze announced the MM-100s that were at half the price of the LCD2 Classics, and the LCD2 Classics are the most affordable studio headphones that Audeze has, okay? Now there are the Audeze Maxwells here, but these are meant for gaming and they're closed back, and although I did find a good EQ setting to listen for music, they are closed back, and I prefer open back headphones to listen to music. And these right here are meant for music creation and for music listening. So you bet that as soon as this was available for order, I ordered it. And after several delays, they're finally here. So let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so these are it right here. And right off the bat, let me tell you that they're a lot lighter than the Audeze Maxwells you see right here. A lot lighter than those. But let me take a look and see what else is in the box. Okay, so it looks like there's a little box here at the bottom. Oh, so you get a nice soft cloth carrying bag for your MM-100s, as you see right here. Quite roomy, and they have a drawstring. It's nice that they provided that. Now it looks like they have the audio cable here, and this is the audio cable. It looks really nice, braided cable, good quality. Reminds me kind of like the ones that came with my LCD2 Classics here. Do note that on one end it has a 3.5mm connection, where on the other end it has a 6.35mm. So that means that these are really meant for studio use, for you to plug into an amplifier with a 6.35mm connection. So if you do want to use it with something like your smartphone or your laptop, you are going to have to get an adapter. So I really like this adapter from Sennheiser. So you can see it fits in nicely. And I bought this adapter on Amazon. And yeah, just comparing my Audeze LCD2 Classics cable to the one from the MM-100. The MM-100's cable is a lot thinner, braiding is a lot tighter, and it looks like a good quality cable as far as I can tell. Yeah, and this Audeze cable that came with my LCD Classic is actually one of my favorite cables. And so yeah, I think this looks good. Okay, but let's take a look at what you guys actually care about, the headphones themselves. And we see them right here, and you may be thinking, wow, I think I've seen these headphones before. And that's because they look very similar to the Audeze Maxwell. So they might have reused some of the housing. You can see it says Audeze on top. So as you can see, it's very similar build with the same strap and headband. I mean, really the major difference is that the MM-100s are open back and they're gonna be better for music listening than the closed back Maxwells. And the other thing is the weight. The Maxwells are quite heavy, and after a while wearing them, you kind of do want to take them off. So I had like a 4-hour training, and by the time that was over, I wanted to take them off really quickly. Let's put them on the scale. Okay, the Audeze Maxwells come in almost 50 grams, where the MM-100s come in at 459 grams. And now the second most affordable studio headphones from Audeze, the LCD2 Classics, are gonna come in at 556 grams. So I actually don't use the Audeze Classics too much because they're just so heavy and bulky and they just make my ears sweaty. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to trying these MM-100s on my head and see how they feel. But let's take a closer look at these because they have some cool technology in them. So these headphones are actually made of a lightweight magnesium and steel chassis, and they're actually very well designed and built here in the US by Audeze. And of course we see Manny Marroquin's name here on this side of the ear cup. And so these are over the ear headphones. They're gonna fit nicely over your ear. The transducer type is planar magnetic. So it's amazing to have a planar magnetic studio headphone at this price range. And Audeze is also using their Fluxor magnet array, as well as their phaser for phase management. And the transducer size on these is 90mm. So what's also interesting about these is that they have a very low impedance of 18 ohms and a sensitivity of 98 dB. That means they should be able to run these off your smartphone without any problems, but I'll go ahead and give that a try and let you guys know in my future videos. These do carry a 1-year warranty. And if you are familiar with the Audeze Maxwells here, then these headphones will seem very similar to that in that they have the same strap here and headband. I would say they're almost identical from what I can tell. Maybe the yokes on the MM-100 are just a tad bit thinner. It's really hard to tell. But again, these are closed back, so they probably have more stuff in there that they need to work into the ear cup. But again, very, very similar. Again, you don't have all the technology that you need for the wireless stuff on the Audeze Maxwell. These are meant to just plug into your DAC and amp, and here we see the connection. As you can see, this cable just has one plug, and the nice thing about the MM-100s is, like, for example, if you're connecting them up and you're creating music, you have a guitar in your hand and you like the cable to be on one side, you can either plug it in to this side here, or if the other side works better for you, then you can plug it in there and it'll work just fine. So I haven't seen this too much in many headphones, so that's really nice that Audeze thought about that for, you know, people like music creators. So the pads on these are very interesting in that they're very plush and comfortable, and from my understanding they are gel filled, so that's interesting. So hopefully that will keep your ears nice and cool. So yeah guys, this is pretty amazing to have this entry-level studio headphone from Audeze that's accessible to a lot more people when compared to the LCD2 Classic here. This headphone on the right here is twice the price of the MM-100. So yeah, here we see the nice grill. I really like it. It has Audeze's trademark logo here. And again, the design is very familiar to me since I use the Audeze Maxwells. I'm just gonna try it on my head just to see how it feels really quick. Okay, I'm pretty impressed with the feel on my head. My ears were encompassed entirely within the ear pads, which is really great. The weight was nice. There was a nice clamping force where it was enough to feel comfortable, yet it wasn't too tight. It wasn't like giving me a headache or anything. It's hard to explain. And the nice thing I liked is one problem I have with the Maxwells here is that if you put them on your head and you lean forward, you feel like the Maxwells are gonna fall forward and fall off your head. With these, they stayed on my head. So I tried a few times to kind of like go forward really quick and they stayed on my head, and that's because I think this clamping force is pretty nice, but again, it doesn't give a lot of pressure. It's just right. And again, you can adjust the headband here. It has 3 different settings, but so far this setting seems like it's good. So I know you guys want to know how they sound. So let me very quickly plug them into my DAC and headphone amplifier stack, which is the Denafrips Aris 2 DAC with the THX AAA 789 amplifier. Okay, I just got done listening to the MM-100s, and let me say this first of all, okay? I paid for these headphones. Audeze did not send me this for free or anything like that. I paid for them. And this is my honest thoughts on my first impressions of how they sound. So here we go. Kind of blown away with the price point of these headphones. I think they sounded amazing. And just a few things that stood out was the vocals sound really good, and I was really surprised with the bass and sub bass on these. I mean, the bass on these really slams. Now, it's a very good sounding, clean bass. Now, I do want to mention one thing I noticed in terms of soundstage. These are on the narrow side in terms of soundstage. The soundstage is much closer to you, much more intimate. But what this does, it really made every song I listened to sound like a live performance. I'm not kidding there. Of course, the first song I had to try it with was Hotel California by the Eagles, of course. But I was just blown away by that song. And of course, I got to listen to other songs. And some of the songs kind of revealed the treble may be a little bit sharp for some people. I am a little bit sensitive to treble, so that may just be me. But I would put these closer to a Bayer Dynamic DT 1990 sound level in terms of the treble versus the Audeze LCD2 Classics. They're kind of a darker sound. They're kind of more rolled off in the treble. So these are definitely different than the traditional Audezes, such as the LCD2 Classics. I really like the sound of these, and I'll just say it right now. I think these MM-100s from Audeze are the new Budget King studio headphones, and I'll leave you with that thought.